everyone. This is really exciting, and since we just had the Lunar New Year last week, as of the 17th, we're now officially in the year of Fire Horse. So I figured let me talk a little bit about some Lunar New Year traditions and stories, and also the year of Fire Horse, and then we'll get into the Feng Shui. And I think raise of hand, are you brokers, real estate broker? Is that everyone here? Okay, so I have some information on how Feng Shui can help sell properties and help you close on deals. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to start with a question. Does anyone know why the color red is associated with Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year in general? No. Happiness, good fortune, good luck, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to start with a story. So, we love stories. That's how information gets passed down. So this is the legend of the year monster. And the year monster, his name is Lein. And so the story goes that the year monster comes out once a year and on New Year's Eve. So it's been sleeping all year and it's hungry. So when it comes out, it devours everything in its path, right? So that could be crops, that could be livestock, that could be people. And so everybody gathers indoor on New Year's Eve to just stay with family, right? And to avoid the year monster Nian. And so, so when somewhere along the line, people discover that the year monster is really afraid of the color red, and it's afraid of bright lights and loud noises, right? So everybody wears red to protect themselves, and then you'll see, like on the door, they will put sort of writings in auspicious words, usually above the door frame and on either side, and a lot of times you'll see sort of diamond shape as well. And so to keep the year monster away, right? And then they also like firecracker. That's how these traditions come along. And so the next morning on New Year's Day, when you emerge from your home and you see your neighbors, we say 过年快乐. Like that means we've passed the year monster, right? And so that's how traditions come along, right? So it's really a time of sacred gathering and for renewal. So the family gather for bonding, for feast on wealth, abundance, gratitude, right? And then we exchange red envelopes. So I'm sure you've known about the red envelope. We usually put money in there for good luck, for wealth and for protection. And that usually, we give it to the kids and the elders. So the rule is that if you are working and you're making money, it's time to give back, right? Because you've collected red envelopes for all these years, it's time to give back, right? And then so it's really a release of the past year and welcoming the new, okay? So I think most Asian cultures, the red represents protection. So it's not just Chinese, right? We call it Lunar New Year. It's observed in most of Southeast Asia. It's observed here a lot in the US, right? So the red represents protection, like we talked about. Represents vitality, celebration, and that's why it's the auspicious color. So now you know. And then in Feng Shui, red is the fire element. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the 5 elements. But red, the fire element specifically, it's about the energy of activation, transformation, and also about passion. So here you can see this is sort of what a traditional household would look like. They would have the scrolls, red hangings, and on the door as well. Usually this is cut off, but usually at one at the top as well. And there are auspicious sayings about coming in and out of the house, peaceful, all the good stuff. So we are now officially in the year of Fire Horse as of February 17th. That was last Tuesday. And so the year of the Fire Horse there's a lot of freedom, a lot of momentum, and so much energy. Because it's a fire year, and also horse carries a lot of fire energy. I mean, you see them, they're constantly running, right? There's so much movement. So it's this really unstoppable force, right? And so the fire really amplifies bold actions, right? Clarity. So last year was the year of wood snake. And that was about shedding old skin, right? It's about transformation, letting go. And if you've done the work last year, you come into this year, emerge with full clarity. You know where you're going, right? So it's this courage to take action, okay? And so it's not a year for hesitation, it's really a year to take bold actions, okay? So use this high energy to really break stagnant energy that is either in your, if there's projects that you wanted to start in work, in your life or relationship, this is the time to take action. And so just a little history, right? This goes on a 60-year cycle because there's 12 animal zodiac sign, I think most of you know. There's 5 elements, and so it's on a 60-year cycle. So 60 years ago, 1966, so this is where China had the Cultural Revolution, and in US, there was the feminine movement. So you can see how much energy there is, just that moment, momentum. So use this energy well, right? Okay, so now we're gonna get into the Feng Shui part. And I'm gonna start with a question. Do you know why, I think most of you know this globe at Columbus Circle. This is also by where I live. Does anyone know why this globe is at Columbus Circle?
Trump put it there.
You're right.
That's
So
from the
it's a
World's
Chinese
Fair.
Feng Shui remedy.
Oh.
Not a lot of people know about it, so now you guys know some fun facts about Feng Shui. So this is actually a giant Feng Shui remedy. So Trump actually has all of his not to get all political, but he has all of his properties Feng Shui because he said it's made him so much money. So you can see from this image, there's so much traffic, the energy, the lights, the sound. It's all like that the circle is coming towards the building. The building's here to the left, right? The Trump Tower. And then the globe is right here at the lower left corner. So all this energy that's coming towards the building, the Feng Shui master suggested to put the globe here. It's acting as a giant gazing ball. So it deflects all that energy that's coming towards the circle to bounce it away from the building. So it's a protection for the building, actually. And if Trump had his way, he would have the main entrance of the building, towards the circle. Obviously, that's a lot of traffic there. But the Feng Shui master actually said, you know what, turn the main entrance to face the park. That's how it is now. So you can receive the good energy from the park, rather than this very chaotic energy that's coming around the circle. So that's how Feng Shui is used in a large scale in an urban setting. So just a little bit about my journey. I've been an professional interior designer for over 25 years. And I've worked for some of the largest design firms and done some really amazing commercial and high-end residential projects. And then I've also been on the spiritual path for the last 20 years, aligning mind, body, and spirit. So now at this point of my life, I'm really culminating sort of my life's work about design, about Feng Shui, about energy work, and really blending Feng Shui with intentional design, right? So I practice Feng Shui from a designer's eye, and then I design from a Feng Shui perspective. I think it's the best of both worlds. And so my mission is really to inspire and transform one home and one person at a time, really to elevate the energy of people in their homes and their lives, do beauty and harmony, and I think we can all use more of that, right? Okay, so what is Feng Shui? right? Feng Shui is really an art and a science. So it combines astrology. When the ancient sages, they were looking at the star, looking at the planetary movement and the effect that it has on planet Earth, and then the effects that it has on human living on this planet Earth, right? So it also combines geology. So Feng Shui work off of Earth's magnetic energy. So it's not the true north, but our heart, our human heart, also resonates with the Earth's it's called human resonance. It's at 7.83. So when we go out into nature, that's why we feel so calm, right? Because our heartbeat is actually beating the same rhythm as Mother Earth. So it combines mathematics, quantum physics, philosophy. It's really about observing nature through thousands of years. This knowledge, it's documented on paper like 5,000-6,000 years ago, but I think it really goes way back, right? In the caveman days, when if we find a safe cave, you want to sort of move some rocks around, maybe lay down some straw, some animal fur, so creating a sense of comfort and security, right? So that's the first form of Feng Shui. So it's really about, they've really tracked what works, what doesn't work, through thousands and thousands of years. And it's really looking at balancing the energy flow that's all around us. We call it the Qi, which is the life force energy. And it's about aligning the environment, our built environment, with the people that are using the space, right? Because so that we can thrive in the space we're in. And so we can enhance abundance, prosperity, health, well-being, and relationships, right? So think of it as acupuncture for the home. I think most people know what acupuncture is, right? So it's about putting the remedy exactly where the stagnant energy would be, similar to like the meridian in your body, so that we can work with the stagnant energy so that it can work for us, right? All this energy that's around us. So another fun fact, so there's many different layers of Feng Shui. We look at a lot of different things. So one is the form Feng Shui. So another question, does anyone know why Manhattan is the capital of the world for finances and commerce? Manhattan, why is it the capital of finances and for commerce?
Waterways.
Waterways, that's energy, that's how it flows. Yes. Okay. So we look at, in Feng Shui, we look at the relationship between the natural landscape and the built environment, right? And again, we like to tell, the ancient sages like to tell stories with there's 4 celestial animals. So the black turtle, it's behind us for support and protection. So in this case, here's Manhattan, and then so black turtle would be north, so that's behind us, right? Like having a protective back. So that would be the Catskills Mountain, that would be the Adirondack Mountain beyond. So that's giving us safety and protection. So once we have that, that's sort of like the basic, right? And then the energy, it's flowing down through Hudson River, through East River, and there's the Green Dragon on the east, so that's the land of Brooklyn we're in right now, and then White Tiger on the west, so that's New Jersey. So you get basically balanced support on both sides, okay? And then there's also the Red Phoenix. So this space right here, the open space, it's called the Red Phoenix. So you can see opportunity and success that's coming your way, and you can also spread your wings and fly, okay? And so there's also the string of pearls that is the Governor's Island, Statue of Liberty Island, and Ellis Island. So basically, all this energy that's flowing down the river, with all the landform that's supporting all this energy, natural energy flow. That's why the New York Stock Exchange is located in downtown Manhattan, right? So it's by no accident how these all this natural energy supporting all this. And so it's further locked in by the Verrazano Bridge. So this energy is not leaking out, right? So again, it's very sort of intentional, right? So all this environmental influences that's optimizing the energy flow, right? So that's sort of feng shui in a really huge scale, right? In a land scale. But we can also think about in human scale. Like if we think about like a chair, a desk chair, right? So when we sit, we want to have a support behind us. If there's no support, you're not going to be comfortable, like back support. And then we want sort of arms on either side supporting us, right? And you're not going to put your chair up against the wall, right? You're going to want to sit at a chair and then have space in front of you. Again, that's the phoenix. So you can see who's coming towards you, right? So with that energy, the opportunity that's coming toward you. So even down to like human scale, we can see how feng shui works, right? And then the next layer we look at is classical feng shui. So this analyzes the energy that is captured in time and in space. We look at the year that is built and the direction that it faces, and this set of really complex mathematics to really come up with the energy blueprint or the birth chart of the home, right? And then so we can see what energy are stagnant, where there are, need some improvement, sort of clear the energy so that the energy can flow. So it's really tapping into the energy that is already exists within our space, so that we can actually sort of manipulate the energy that's around us. And this is kind of like a secret weapon, if you will. Not a lot of people know about it, but this has been practiced over thousands and thousands of years, right? If it didn't have any leg, it wouldn't be around for this long, right? It works. So let me just turn this a little bit. The sun is moving. So the next layer is intentional feng shui. So every area of your home represents a certain aspect of your life, right? So it can affect your career, your love, your family, your wealth and prosperity, your children, and so that's how we use intentional feng shui. I could go into it more, but I don't want to take up a whole lot of time. So this is just like a sort of a quick brief overview, okay? So we talked about the 5 elements earlier. So the 5 elements really is the basis of all Chinese metaphysics. So that's acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine, so meridian system. So this energy exists in the universe, in nature, within each one of us, and it's also here in our homes. It's understanding the language, right? So then we can start communicating with the energy of our home or work with the energy of our home. And again, it's about the energy that they represent. They just kind of sort of categorize them into 5 buckets, right? So we talked about fire is the energy of activation and transformation. And the earth is about the energy of grounding and stability, right? Metal is about focus and clarity. Water is about flow and movement. It also represents resources and finances. And then wood energy is about the energy of growth and expansion. And so all these energy interact with each other. There's a productive cycle. So if they're feeding each other, right? And then going in reverse, they're weakening the elements. And then there's also a controlling cycle. So for example, fire melts metal, metal chops wood, wood depletes earth, earth blocks water, and then water puts out fire. So it's really the study of the interaction of these energies that is all, within our space, within us, that we look to really remedy or enhance. Okay. So I'm going to give some really quick feng shui tips. We talk a lot about the front door. The front door has, like, majority of the qi comes in through the front door. And so it's what we call the mouth of Qi. And so we want to keep this area really clutter-free, so no like 50 pairs of shoes and coats hanging. And then we can welcome this Qi either with welcome mat, lush plants. So this is what not to do. So dead plants have dead energy. We want fresh life plants again to bring in. So that's wood energy. Bring in the energy of growth and expansion. Okay. And then so there's some artwork when you come in the front door. You want something that really brings you a lot of joy, right? When you come in, you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm home," right? And then also placement of mirror is really important. So we don't want the mirror to be directly opposite the front door, because when the energy is trying to come into your front door, you're bouncing that energy back out, right? So where this is a good placement, and the second placement will be here, or sort of where this artwork is hanging. Those are all okay, good places. And then this is also what not to do. So ideally it's one large mirror instead of smaller mirror, because it chops off the qi as it's trying to come in, right? And then, sorry, I wanna just give a real life example. This is a project that I just helped a client sell her apartment. So it's on 68th Street, it's near the park on the east side. So she listed the apartment in August, and then 3 offers fell through. So she hired me in November. We met in mid-November. We placed all the feng shui remedies, and then right away she got 2 cash offers. And the apartment is close to $3 million. So she had to choose, right? And then she went through with one of the cash offer and went into contract early December, and board approval like end of January, and it just closed last Tuesday. So from beginning to finish, it was about 3 months for a co-op building, which is really, really good, right? Having to go through co-op board approval and everything. So yeah, it's about like 3 months, less than 3.5 months. So this is a real life case study. And then what are some feng shui applications that you can use it for, right? So if you use it for residential, commercial, investment properties, we want a space clear to release any stagnant energy. And then it can help attract the right buyer, not just any buyer. So for example, the 2 that has a cash offer, right? It can help sell and rent properties faster. It can also activate prosperity, so it can support stronger offers. So when sort of relationship, health, and family is all in alignment, I think any potential buyers that's walking through that door, they're gonna feel the energy when it's grounded, when it's centered, right? Maybe if they can't put their finger on what exactly it is, but they're gonna be able to feel that energy, right? So feng shui can also help with client relocation either before or after they either sell or buy their new place. And then that case study that I share as an example, also I'm helping her working on her feng shui for her new apartment as well. This we can really activate a lot of business success, right? Either for office, retail, or commercial spaces. Work with artwork, color, maybe even in staging, right? So this works on like in-person or virtual consultation because energy is everywhere. And it's really, you can add to your competitive advantage of like thousands of listings out there, right? So that's how feng shui can help. And then if you like to stay connected, I have business cards, I have some brochures, and then here's my website, my email, and also if you want to follow on Instagram, I give free feng shui tips. So thank you. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions. You can either find me after or thank you.
All
Or
right.
you can like, yeah, have some
I
more.
have an